Tell me total how many ways are there, guys? Check your audio and video settings. Yes, total 4 ways are there to develop transaction management application. Aspects AOP declarative, annotation, 100% code driven approach, Spring Boot approach. Super. Now tell me, guys, how does it know that you are interested in local transaction or distributed transaction? And how does it knows we are interested in which technology to write the persistence logic or transaction management based persistence logic? Okay, it all depends upon the transaction manager we choose, guys. If it is a data source transaction manager that is there to perform local transaction management using either plain JDBC or Spring JDBC. Next, Hibernate transaction manager that is also for local transaction management using either Hibernate or Spring. Then we got IBT's transaction manager for local transaction management using what? IBTs. If you are looking for distributed transaction management, we have to work with JTA transaction manager. So configuring this one is nothing but configuring advice. So far we have worked with user defined advices. Transaction is a predefined advice which will be activated based on the transaction manager we configure. Okay, boss. Local transaction management using Aspects AOP declarative approach. Aspects AOP. Same knowledge we are going to apply in annotation knowledge. Declarative approach. Next, number one, we need to import. We need to import TX comma AOP namespaces. TX comma AOP namespaces. We need to configure, okay, transaction manager as the, okay, transaction manager as the advice. Advice. Okay, using TX colon advice tag. Using TX colon advice tag. Advice tag. Next, we need to apply. We need to apply transaction attribute indicating transaction is required or not. Required or not when business method is called. When business method is called using TX colon attributes tag. TX colon attributes tag specifying business method names. Business method names. Okay. Remaining all configurations are same as. Remaining all configurations are same as AOP configuration. That means regular tags, guys. AOP configurations. What configurations, guys? AOP configurations. Yes, that means AOP and transaction, both namespaces are required. Yes, guys. Now listen. Since we are looking for, since we are looking for local transaction management using the Spring JDBC persistence logic. So we need to take driver manager, data source transaction manager, data source transaction manager as the transaction advice. Data source transaction manager as the transaction advice. What advice, guys? Transaction advice. Okay. Okay. Advice. First, configure it as Spring Bean. Then transaction advice. Then and then as transaction advice. Then as expects AOP advice. Total three things, guys. First, configure data source transaction manager as the Spring Bean, then transaction advice, then AOP advice, guys. Expects AOP advice. So these are the three things we have to do, guys. Use case, guys. Use case. Transfer money operation between two accounts of same bank. Yes, two accounts of same bank means same database software. Same database software means local transaction management sufficient or not. Local transaction management is sufficient here. Local transaction management is sufficient here. Seriously, literally, local transaction management is sufficient here. Okay, boss. Now listen, boss. We apply transaction service as AOP advice on DAO class methods, guys. Okay, on DAO class method or service class methods. Speak out, guys. We apply this transaction service on DAO class methods or service class methods. I want reply, my dear. I want reply. On DAO class methods or service class methods. Yes, we always apply on service class methods. Why? Service class method anyhow internally calls DAO class method. Indirectly, these are applied on DAO class methods. Now, boss, we apply transaction service as AOP advice on service class methods because they indirectly apply on DAO class methods as DAO class methods are invoked from Service class methods. DAO class methods are invoked from service class methods. Okay, guys. Service class methods. Are you getting my point, guys? Yes, boss. File new, Maven project, say next, Maven hyphen, archetype hyphen, quick start. Yes, now I'm taking this use case, guys. Workspace is not correct. Our workspace is not correct, boss. Yo. Let's get into correct workspace 613. File new, Maven project, say next, Maven hyphen, archetype hyphen. Okay, quick start. Say next, artifact ID. Okay, listen, guys. TX management, TX management pros 1, TX management pros 1, 01 I will take. Local transaction management, local transaction management, Spring JDBC. Local transaction management, Spring JDBC. com.nt.test. Okay, I have to show do everything or nothing principle, boss. Seriously, I need to say do everything or nothing principle. Yes, here is my TX management, boss. Go to pom.xml. First one, na? Go to pom.xml. 14. If you want, you can use 15 also. If you are interested, you can use 15 also, not a issue. 14 version, 14 version. Okay. 16 also there, but running versions are only two guys, 8 and 11. Running versions are only two. Remaining all are only for our satisfaction. Update project guys. Finish. Okay. Go to pom.xml guys. Here we need to add jars. Definitely we need to add jars. mvnrepository.com. Spring context support 5.3.7. 5.3.7. Okay. Anyone is attending morning Spring Boot classes, guys? Anyone attending morning Spring Boot classes? Finding some difference? Here I teach Spring Boot. There also I am teaching Spring Boot. So, so I'm trying to present in a different angle. No, there will be some common topics, no doubt in that. But at the end, I am only teaching both. Okay. But the way I'm presenting there is a totally different, right? So there I'm keeping so many project oriented situations in mind to explain the things. Okay, that's what someone asked. I already know Spring Boot in this batch. Should I come? If you want depth subject, you should come. But without that also you can clear interview. Again, I'm saying without coming to morning batch also, without coming to morning batch also, you can clear Spring Boot interviews. You can work on Spring Boot. It's not like that you cannot work. But if you want to know more internals, more modules in Spring Boot environment, okay, more depthness in Spring Boot environment, you have to plan morning batch. For example, evening we learn Spring JDBC and we don't learn Spring Data JPA, but for your batch, I promise I will provide video recordings of Spring Data JPA. But basically, Spring Data JPA is not part of our course, guys. Okay, it's a part of microservice and Spring Boot. So, like this, more modules also we learn in Spring Boot environment, like Spring Boot JMS, Spring Boot JMS. Mm. Done, guys. Org.spring framework, spring hyphen context hyphen support, spring scheduling, spring batch. So all these things we are going to study a lot in Spring Boot environment. Okay, guys. After arrival of Spring Boot data JPA, Spring ORM is outdated. Don't waste your time on Spring ORM because everyone is working with Spring Data JPA, and I said I will give video recordings of Spring Data JPA to you people. Done, boss. Yes, Spring JDBC, boss. Here is my Spring JDBC. Right. Come here. Next. OJDBC 6 or 8. Anything you can take. I think second one is doing well, 19.3. Done, boss. Paste. OJDBC. Okay, this one. These are the things we need. Okay, let's take the table first. Let's create the table first. I prefer working with Arkil only, boss. Oh, AOP, Xpexay related jars also we should add. You are right. Xpexay viewer, Xpexay viewer, not this. Look at the first one. Yes, 1.9.6. 1.9.6. Say paste, guys. Expexe viewer 1.9.6. Next, Expexe RT boss 1.9.6. Spring transaction jar I need not to add separately. Once I add Spring JDBC jars, transaction jar comes automatically. Are you sure, sir? Yes, I am very sure. Okay, you want to feel it? You can feel it. Spring transaction dot jar. Spring TX. I need not to add. It's a dependent jar boss. It will come automatically. Okay. Yes. Come to this place. I need to have some bank account, boss. Bank account table. Hey, not only that use case, guys, you can take employee registration, student registration, inserting same record in two tables simultaneously. Those use cases also you can take. I would like to take a table here was new table bank underscore 1 minute spring underscore tx underscore bank spring underscore tx underscore bank. Okay. Here what is this? Account number ACCNO account number size 10 plus symbol. Next holder name done. Next one balance account number holder name balance boss. Balance you can take float also, your choice. Number I think I will take float directly. Fine. Okay. No, listen, these three are enough. You want to increase, you can increase the details. PAN number, Aadhaar number, what is next? Nominee name. You can keep boss. But for my transaction, these three are sufficient. Not happy, you can have more records. Spring transaction. Spring transaction underscore bank boss. Here is my SQL. Let me pin it boss. Ankit Abhishek in Elastic separate database is there. There you have to upload the what is that backup files, not backup file, import export files are there na those things. First of all, in Elastic you have to find same database software. There you have to upload files. There you have to upload files. First of all, Elastic also provides database. First, find out that. And there you have to upload export files. Then in Elastic database, your tables will come. Or if you use Hibernate kind of thing, tables will be generated dynamically. Elastic gives MySQL. Why? Because it's a free. You want Oracle, you have to go for commercial things. Use common sense, Ra Babu. Yes. DB script boss. File here. dbscript.txt. Yes, we are ready with the table, boss. We are ready with the table. Yeah, I only keep the records, boss. Right now, I only keep the records. Plus 1001 account, guys. Raja is the account holder. Balance is 90,000. plus symbol. 1002 boss. Rani is the account holder. 60,000 is the account balance. Refresh. Yes, we are ready with the table data also, nothing else. Come to this place, boss. New package. com.nt.service. I'll take not completely aid application, service and DAO I will take. Okay, guys. Now tell me com.nt.service, com.nt.dao. Yeah, it's annotation. No, sorry, XML was package com.nt.cfgs. com.mt.cfgs. com.nt.cfgs, guys. Super. com.nt.cfgs, com.nt.dao, com.nt.service, com.nt.test, com.nt.test. Are you getting my point, guys? Come on. Super. Okay, boss. Right. Here, what we do. Others, Spring Bean configuration file, persistence, hyphen beans.xml. Persistence hyphen beans.xml. Next, new other Spring Bean configuration file. AOP-beans.xml. Array transaction management is AOP only, boss. That's why. Next, new others Spring Bean configuration file. Service-beans.xml. Next, new others application context.xml. Application context.xml. Okay, guys. Namespaces. What, guys? Namespaces. What is this? Persistence-beans.xml. Sai Kumar, how many days you'll ask the same question, boss? I think few days back also you asked same question. I have replied it. Based on the log files, they will do it. Sir, here multiple transactions are there, my dear. Here multiple transactions are there. Why are you mixing all of them into same? Dirty fellow. Returning item is one transaction. Payment and directing item from inventory is one transaction. Dirty fellow, divide and look at the things. Divide and look at the things. If possible, take this use case or order item from e-commerce site, paying amount. Ordering item is having two activities. I have taken this use case while giving example of transaction management. Dirty fellow. Divide and see. And moreover, once item is out, how it will be part of continuation from waste fellow? Once item is out and came to customer, transaction is over now. How can you combine everything into one transaction? Here two things are there. Task one, purchasing product that needs a transaction. One for operation one, payment. Operation two, deducting count of item from inventory. Okay, payment is done. Item is out for delivery. Understanding? That is okay. Next, receiving product is a normal activity. Returning product, returning product. When you return the product, okay, when you return the product, refund and incrementing the item count, incrementing the item count is another transaction. Total two transactions are involved. And you are asking me to develop in a single transaction. This is what your analyzation is going on. Dirty fellow. Transaction will continue when item is out for delivery also, na? Sai Kumar, respond. So much active while asking questions. How to write code? After array amount is there. Amount is there in the e-commerce website account. From there, they will go for customer account. What is there in that? Sir, how they will return same amount after 10 days? Array amount paid will be there, na boss. When they return item, item code will be there. Item code, when they submit item code, item price will be there, right? And moreover, when item is delivered, one record will be inserted. In that record, item price will be there. Whenever item is out for delivery, okay, one record will be inserted in the table having transaction ID, item ID, price, okay, day of purchase, something. Now what happens? When item is returned based on the transaction ID, they will collect the bill amount. What is that price? And that amount they will try to return from Flipkart account to customer account. From Flipkart, but in between some manual intervention will be there. Without manual intervention, refund will not happen. Definitely Flipkart employee will have manual intervention. Otherwise, customer will try to cheat these companies. That's why refund takes time. Okay. So please don't make purchasing, returning, okay, getting amount into account. All are not a same transaction. So much gap is there on this among these account activities. And one transaction will not continue for days together, boss. Use basic common sense. Transaction will not continue days together. Purchasing payment is part of one transaction. Returning product and deducting amount is another transaction. But definitely e-commerce website employee intervention will be there before finalizing what refund should be done or not. Fine. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to take context namespace. Actually, here not required. Context namespace not required. Context namespace not required. AOP here. TX here. TX. In AOP hyphen O. This is what is the highlighted one. Highlighted one is remove AOP. Remove TX. Okay. Go to AOP hyphen beans.xml. AOP. AOP beans. Context is required in annotation environment. TX is required, boss. TX is required. Service hyphen beans. Normal beans is enough. Application context.xml. Normal beans is enough, guys. In persistence also, I think context not required because it is not an annotation environment. Okay. In this whole process, we forgot to add one jar file. What is that? Okay. Install STS plugin properly, then everything will come. Hikari CP. Hikari CP boss. Array, we have to use one or other connection pool now, boss. Go to pom.xml, Hikari CP jar. Okay, Hikari CP jar. Import resource persistence hyphen beans.xml. Import resource service hyphen beans.xml. Import resource AOP hyphen beans.xml. Persistence hyphen beans.xml. Persistence, right only na boss. Persistence. This is right. Persistence. Persistence, right only boss. AOP hyphen beans.xml. Oh, beans are right. Beans. AOP hyphen beans.xml. Application context. Persistence hyphen beans. Service hyphen beans, boss. Service hyphen beans. Persistence hyphen beans. Application context.xml here. Clear, boss? Done. Okay. Now let's go to DAO first. Let's go to DAO. Interface. Bank DAO. I'll take two methods, one withdraw method, one deposit method here. I call these two methods in transfer money method of service class. Okay, here iBank DAO. What guys? iBank DAO. That's cool. Public int. Okay, guys. Ankit, Abhishek, are we there in this situation of learning what is namespace? From how many months back onwards you are using namespace? And today you are asking me what is namespace? Either try to be fully active or fully dull. One time's great question, one time dumb questions, please don't ask. Guys, is it the time to discuss? Is it the time to discuss what is namespace? How many days back I launched what is namespace? Okay, since the discussion has come, namespace is a library where set of JS XML tags are there. It is identified with a URI. Yes, it is like Java package. It's like Java package. But the problem is we already did this. I think so many people joined in the middle, boss. I can say definitely. Okay, within 3-4 days, I'm going to change the meeting ID. Only valid students will get the meeting ID. Remaining people will be thrown out. I cannot take this kind of fellows, guys. Okay. So many people joined in the middle. Okay, withdraw. At least they don't have common sense. I joined in the late, might be I missed something. No, anything comes in the brain, they'll ask. Abhishek Ankit, can you tell me what is the start month? In which month this batch is started? Abhishek Ankit, if you don't reply this question, I'm going to remove you from the meeting today. Abhishek Ankit, I'm giving 1 minute time. Abhishek Ankit should reply, not others. Abhishek Ankit should reply. Okay. Black sheep is found, boss. Black sheep is found. You know what is black sheep? Into account number, float amount. Float amount or double amount. He has not replied. I removed him. Okay. Public. Yes. Deposit method. Deposit method. Into account number, amount. Don't share meeting IDs like this, Ra Babu. It not only suffers me, it also suffers you people. These many days is after these many days he is asking what is namespace. If you share meeting IDs, this kind of headaches only will come. Okay. Bank DAO IMPL. Anyhow, I'll ask my admin people to change meeting ID within 3-4 days. Bank DAO IMPL, guys. Interfaces. iBank DAO. Save OK. Nice, boss. Here what I do. JDBC template JT. JDBC template JT, boss. After that, I'll do constructor injection for this. I will do constructor injection for this. Tell me here what is that? JDBC template JT, boss. This dot JT is equal to JT. This dot JT is equal to JT, boss. Done. After that, what next? Better to supply connection object service to DAO. Bolli Sivakrishna, you are there in advanced Java class or Spring class? In design pattern that is given in J2WE model, boss, it is Spring. In Spring, we have to supply connection object to DAO from service. You are mixing up both. Guys. In Spring required. In Spring, we have a separate transaction management. We need not to do transaction management manually from service class. Come on, don't mix up Spring and Servlet JSP design pattern. Tell me, guys, private static final string bank underscore withdraw. Bank underscore withdraw. Tell me, guys, update bank account. Update spring underscore tx underscore account set balance is equal to balance minus question mark, where column is balance only, na? Okay. Column is balance, perfect. Balance is equal to balance minus question mark, where ACCNO is equal to question mark. Where ACCNO is equal to question mark. This is for withdraw, guys. Okay, this is for deposit. Table name is wrong. Who said? I think right. Deposit. It is bank underscore transaction or spring underscore trans. Spring underscore tx underscore bank. Oh, bank I have taken. I think account better sounds, but fine. We have taken bank. Yes, here also bank. Update string on this one. Balance is equal to balance plus this one. Right here, withdraw query. int count is equal to jt dot update query was bank underscore withdraw parameters in the same order. First balance minus amount, then account number, ACCNO. In the table, column is ACNO na ACCNO na ACCNO. Right, guys. Return count. Observe this. Int count is equal to jt dot deposit. Sorry, jt dot update. jt dot update. Bank underscore deposit. What is first? Amount. What is next? Account number. Return count. Yes, guys. Go to persistence-beans.xml was. Configure Hikari CP. Data source configuration. Fundamentals will never change, guys. HKCP. Class is equal to, what is next? Hikari CP data source. Hikari CP data source. Why it is not appearing? Hikari CP data source. Hikari data source, fine, whatever it is. Next, Hikari CPDS. Tell me, guys, property name, driver class name, value, Arakil dot JDBC dot driver dot. What is that, guys? Arakil driver. Property name, JDBC URL, value, JDBC colon Arakil colon thin colon @1521 colon XE. Property name, username, value, system. Property name, password, value, manager. Okay, guys. DAO class configuration. Bank ID, bank DAO, class is equal to, tell me, class is equal to bank DAO IMPL. Here important constructor, guys. Name is equal to JT. JDBC template I have to inject. Wait then. Then JDBC template configuration. Bean ID template class is equal to JDBC template constructor -arg. Name is equal to, what is, guys? Name is equal to data source. Ref is equal to HKCPDS. Next, property name. Your name. Ref is equal to. Are you forgetting XML after learning Spring Boot, or constructor -arg name is equal to JT, ref is equal to template, guys. Simply ref is equal to template. Everyone understood everything, guys? Easy, boss. Now we have to go for service. We need to go for service-beans dot service class development. Interface, guys. iBank management service. iBank management service, guys. Mm. Here, what is there? iBank management service. Bank money, transfer money, long source. I think I have taken inter long. In DAO, I have taken inter. Okay. Actually, better to take long, boss. Better to take long. Okay. Into source account number, into destination account number, float amount. Float amount. New class. Bank management service IMPL. What is the interface? iBank management service IMPL. Done. Okay, super. Next, what is this? Poet. iBank DAO. Okay. This is also mandatory, boss. iBank DAO. This dot DAO is equal to DAO. Nice. Here, what is the story, guys? Now listen. One important point is there, guys. In declarative transaction management, whenever business method throws unchecked exception, not for checked, unchecked exception, the transaction manager automatically roll back the transaction. In declarative transaction management, okay, the transaction manager roll backs the transaction if business method throws any unchecked exception. Unchecked exception. Okay. And it will commit the transaction if no exception is raised. It will commit the transaction if no exception is raised. This is the basic principle, boss. It's a basic principle. Now, by keeping that in mind, you behave. Into count one is equal to DAO dot deposit of destination account number plus amount. Into count 2 is equal to DAO dot withdraw source account number comma amount. Super. If count double equal to 0 or count 2 double equal to 0, count 1 double equal to 0 or count anything is failed. If anything is failed, then what? Throw new. What is this? Throw new runtime exception. Throw new runtime exception. Okay. Transaction rolled back. Transaction rolled back. Transaction rolled back. Money not transferred. Money is not transferred. Else, if everything goes smoothly, else transaction committed, actually need not to write this message. Okay, money. Sir, how can you say it's a local transaction? Okay, withdraw, deposit, both are part of transaction activities, boss. Both are happening on same resource or two different resources? Same resource. That's why. Money transferred. Transaction committed, money transferred. Okay, boss. Everyone got it? This is checked exception or unchecked exception? Must be checked exception. Must be unchecked exception. For checked exception, it won't roll back, boss. Whatever done works are there, they will be committed. Suppose while doing deposit, exception came. Our deposit failed, that's why exception came, but that is checked exception. Okay, tell me, withdraw will be committed. So that means no transaction management takes place. Only for unchecked exception, it will roll back. Must be unchecked exception. Super boss. Now come to service-beans.xml. Configure service class. Okay. Bean ID. Bank service. Are you listening, my dears? Bank service IMPL. Bank service IMPL. Come on. Constructor-arg. Name is equal to DAO. Ref is equal to bank DAO. But that bank DAO is not there in this XML file. It is there in another XML file. But it's no problem. It can collect it. Persistence-BAO, bank DAO. Oh, all upper cases. Bank DAO, boss. All upper cases. Then, boss. But now on the same method, I have to apply transaction. If you want to apply transaction, AOP-beans.xml. Source code. First configure transaction manager as Spring Bean. As Spring Bean. Bean ID DS transaction MGMR. Class is equal to data source transaction manager. Nice, boss. Constructor-arg. Ref is equal to. It also needs data source, boss. It also needs data source. What is data source bean ID, my dears? What is data source bean ID, my dear? HKDS. What is the name? Name is optional, but if you write good, data source, right? First work is done, guys. First job is done. Target class is service class configured. Advice class is transaction manager configured. Make transaction manager as transaction advice. Transaction advice. Okay. So just it is a normal Spring Bean, guys. Make it as transaction advice. TX:advice, boss. TX:advice. ID is equal to my choice name I can give. TX advice, transaction advice, transaction manager is equal to. Yes, guys. This is very important. So far it's a Spring Bean. Here it has become transaction advice. Here it has become transaction advice. But okay, on which method you want to apply transaction? That we will specify through transaction attribute. Okay, guys. That we specify through transaction attributes. Transaction attributes, guys, under this transaction method. On which method you want to apply transaction attribute? Name of the method, transfer money. Okay, propagation required. Okay, on this method, transaction is required. Easy na, boss? On this method, transaction is required. Which transaction? This manager transaction. Which transaction? This manager managed transaction. This is not point cut. Okay. If at all transfer money method is given by point cut expression, on that method, transaction is required given by this transaction manager. Okay, boss. Now listen. Enable aspects AOP. Yes, we are back, boss. We are back. We are back. AOP colon config. Are you comfortable up to this, my dears? Are you comfortable up to this? Respond, Rababu. Respond. AOP colon config, guys. Now tell me. AOP colon aspect. AOP colon aspect. Ref is equal to TX advice. Ref is equal to TX advice. Nice. Next. Now method. Okay. Method, what you do? Right now, in TXXY, what is the method? We don't know. What class? What is the method in data source transaction? We don't know. So that's why, very interestingly, I'm introducing new tag. Advisor. AOP colon advisor. Okay. Here is the problem. AOP colon advisor. Not coming. 1 minute. I'll say one thing. I'll say one thing. Instead of both directly AOP colon advisor. Advice method, all these things are not required, guys. Advisor, advice ref, TX advice. TX advice. That's it. No need of writing aspect separately. We have to go for advisor because we are not no, we don't know about what class, what method. All these angama not required, guys. Take this advice, make it as what? Aspects AOP advice. Makes transaction advice as AO expects AOP advice. Done, boss. Here point cut. AOP colon point cut. Yes. Execution. What's the return type? Java.lang.string. Execution return type is java.lang.string. Package name com.nt. What dot? com.nt. Service. com.nt. Service dot. Tell me bank service management. What is the class name, guys? Bank management service IMPL. Service IMPL dot transfer money. Two dots end of that. Here is PTC. Here is PTC. Okay, everyone got it? I think after execution, open parenthesis. Right, boss? Transfer money. Transfer money. Any spell mistakes are there? I think everything is perfect. Bank management service IMPL. Yes, boss. Bank management service IMPL. Super. AOP colon advisor, advice ref, TX reference. Makes transaction service as expects AOP advice, guys. And this is okay. Now listen. This is If at all point cut gives transfer money, on the transfer money transaction is required, that is collected from transaction manager through transaction manager. Sir, I'm writing point cut twice. No, 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 no. This is to apply transaction service. If at all transfer money is there in the list of transaction service, come on. If at all there, I want transaction service, boss. Okay. This is only to pick up transfer money to apply the advice, guys. Okay. If the, since that advice is transaction advice, since that advice is transaction advice, okay. Here point cut ref PTC. Since I have not written point cut, it got hurted red color has come. Yeah. See guys, why AOP colon advisor, boss? Tell me. Why AOP colon advisor? Array, right now I want to make a ready-made service as advice. I don't know method name. That's why they have given advisor directly. So no need of working with expect class, expect tag separately. Okay, AOP colon before after kind of tag separately. This will take care. Now, listen, if at all transfer money method is called, okay, apply transaction advice according to the pint cut. Okay, while applying transaction service on transfer money method, transaction is required through this transaction manager. Actually, other possibilities also there, guys. Okay, not supported. See, so though transfer money method is required, picked up here, and transaction service is applied, but transaction service will not be applied on transfer money. But right now I'm looking for required, that's why I'm writing required. I will talk about this propagation attributes big list tomorrow. Listen again. Point cut says whenever client calls transfer money, apply transaction service. Okay. While applying transaction service, on this method transaction is required or not required, we can mention here. Since I said required, okay, with respect to this transaction manager required. I hope you convinced, boss. So that means though transfer money method is picked up, though TRIEX advice is applied, still we have a choice not to apply transaction or to apply transaction on transfer money method by using TX colon attributes and method tags, boss. Now you got it? Yes, boss. So double confirmation. This will pick up the method to apply transaction service. While applying transaction service, what mode of transaction you want? You need it or you don't need it, or you need on conditional basis, or everything will be told by propagation. I'll spend much time on propagation in tomorrow's class. Entire tomorrow class will be on propagation only. Don't worry. Now let's go for client application. Local transaction management test. Local transaction management test, guys. Create IOC container. Create IOC container. Yes, guys. Tell me. Class path XML application context CTX is equal to new class path. Come on. XML application context of com/nt/cfz/ application context dot XML. What dot XML, guys? Application context dot XML. Then what is this? Get bean. Get service class object. What object, guys? Service class object. Tell me how to get the service class object. iBank management service. Service is equal to Actually proxy, boss. It is not. It is a proxy. Seriously, it is a proxy, right? Mm. Bank service, guys. iBank management service dot class. Invoke methods. What is that, guys? Invoke methods. Invoke methods. Invoke methods. Tell me here. Sysout proxy dot transfer money. Source account number 1001. Destination account number 1002. Amount to transfer 5000. Amount to transfer 5000. Catch exception E. E dot print stack trace. Close container. CTX dot close. Close container CTX dot close. Okay, right now this account number 1001, 1002. Both account numbers are successfully there. I think I have taken double value everywhere. Double I have taken. Double or float? I think double I have taken, but in transfer money, I think I have taken float. Okay. I would go to DAO, double. Okay, I understood my mistake. Let me change here also to double. Here also to double. Yeah, that's not a big thing. Gone. Now come here, gone. Okay. So now you observe. Now you observe. Right now, both accounts are there successfully, guys. So now do everything happens. What happens, guys? Do everything takes place. Money should be transferred successfully. Do everything takes place. Oh, error. What's the error? Tabular view does not exist. Spring underscore transaction underscore bank. Table is not there, boss. Spring underscore SPRINGTX underscore bank. Where is the DAO IMPL? Spring underscore transaction. Acha. Space is there. That space is now removed. Yes. Run as a Java application. Yeah. Transaction committed, money transferred. Go to data, say refresh. 90,000 has become 85,000, 60,000 has become 65,000. Do everything is happening perfectly. So now do nothing is happening or not. Okay, I have given wrong source account number, which is not there. That means withdraw fails. Deposit succeeds. Though deposit succeeds, it will be rolled back because withdraw failed. Or if anything is zero, I am throwing runtime exception. So that will roll back transaction both. See guys, runtime exception, transaction rolled back, money not transferred. See these guys, it won't become 70,000. It still has 85,000, 65,000. Anyhow, it is failed. You cannot expect modifications here. But here you can give 70,000, but not giving. So that means do everything, nothing also happened or not. Now do nothing is shown practically or not. Are we writing much code? Very less code we are writing. Are you writing try catch, exception handling? Any programmatic touch in business method? Did I write any transaction code programmatically in the business method, guys? In the business method, any transaction code, guys? No. Only throwing exception is just to give hint. Next, boss. Source is perfect. Destination is not there. Tell me, withdraw can be completed, though deposit fails. But does it complete? Does it really completes, guys? Does it really completes, guys? No, not at all. Does it really completes, guys? Not at all. Okay. Next, 1001, 1002. Or reverse also, no problem. 1002, 1001. Okay, Rani is returning money back. Everything is smooth. Okay, refresh. Again 60,000, 90,000. Tell me, guys, transaction management is tough or easy? Yeah? Number one, AOP style. Number two, declare. Number two, number two, this approach will be same tomorrow if you go to Hibernate. If this approach will be same tomorrow, you go to global transaction management. This approach remains same though you change underlying technology. You may change underlying technology to plain Hibernate, Spring ORM, Spring Data JPA. Same. You may change underlying technology to plain JDBC or Spring JDBC. Same. You move to local or global. This approach will never changes, guys. I think very, very interesting or not. Flow is what? A same flow now was. Same flow. Nothing else will happen. Again, here in-memory metadata proxy class is generated, boss. Proxy class is generated. Come on. Why? AOP colon config is there, right? Inside that method, inside that proxy class, transfer money method is overridden. Inside transfer money method, transaction code is and our code is mixed up. Transaction management code and our code of transfer money is mixed up. Okay, I'll spend some time on transfer flow of execution later. I hope you felt it practically here or not. Are you able to feel? Are you able to feel do everything or nothing, boss? Say respond, Ra Babu. 200 members are there, no activeness at all. Yes, guys. This is pom.xml. For example, application on. Biswaji, there is no need of try catch, try with resource. Nothing is required. Your service method will have only business logic and everything will be controlled outside. That is AOP style programming now, boss. When timing will be changed, timing will be changed once the design pattern is over. Mostly this weekend, timings will be changed. Next Monday onward, timings will be changed, boss. Right. I won't give all the things, guys. Bank management, IMPL, this one I will give. And XML file I will give. Yeah, once the timing is changed, the time will be 6 p.m. guys. You want 6 p.m. or 5:30? Yeah. I think 6 p.m. is good. Copy this, paste this one. Six p.m. only I'll take, don't worry. AOP hyphen AOP hyphen beans.xml. Here is my AOP hyphen beans.xml. Beans.xml. Yes. AOP hyphen beans.xml. Okay. Transaction attributes will tell how to apply transaction. How to apply transaction. Okay. How to apply transaction and whether transaction should be applied or not. should be applied or not. Whether transaction should be applied or not. Are you listening, boss? Transaction attributes will tell how to apply transaction or whether transaction should be applied or not on the given business method, if at all that business method selected through point cut expression. First important thing is what business method you are calling, that should be there in point cut expression. Then transaction service is applied. But while applying transaction service, in which mode the transaction should be applied, whether transaction should be applied or not on the business method that is selected through point cut expression will be decided. Are you understanding? This is very crucial. Don't think that we are writing point cut twice. This will pick up method for transaction service. This will tell how the transaction should be applied, whether transaction should be applied or not, though method is picked up in what? Point cut. Enjoyed my point, guys? Come on. So transaction manager as Spring Bean, transaction manager as transaction advice, and same transaction manager as what? Aspects AOP was. Same transaction manager as Aspects AOP advice. Our theory and practicals are matching or not matching? Definitely matching, no doubt in that. Right. I'll speak more on propagation, more on transaction attributes in tomorrow's class. What are the other possibilities? Okay. Tell me, guys. Tell me, guys. By default, transaction manager rollbacks the transaction for checked exception or unchecked exception? For checked exception or unchecked exception? It is for unchecked exception, not for checked exception. No, sir, I want to make sure, I want to see it for doing for checked exception also. How to do that one in tomorrow session, I will talk. So many things are there, boss. Don't worry. Thank you. Have a nice time.